everyone, welcome back to RTS and welcome back to another 15-minute mixer where we're going to sit down and do something or anything for 15 minutes. So let's start the timer and let's get jiggy. Yes, what are we going to do? Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about base pages because I got a lot of questions about that, a lot of emails and a lot of thank yous. So honestly, thank you for just being a part of this channel and enjoying this hobby regardless of what we do. And so I was getting ready to go to bed the other night and I came into my scrap room to get my iPad, and guess what happened? I saw some papers just floating around my desk and I thought, oh, I could put a couple of those together for base pages. And I sat down and did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right before I went to bed, and I didn't plan it, it just happened. So I thought, oh, I would show those in this mixer because I'm getting ready to put them in that album. And then another thing that I want to do is I'm going to change the a little bit of configuration of my paints around, because as I was doing the video for my summer space shape up, video number 9, week number 9, I noticed that I still had some of those Making Memories paints. So that's what I'm going to play with. I should be sitting here putting together a cube unit for my paper pads, which I'll be showing that coming up in a few weeks. But you know how it is. We drag our feet. So these are the ones I put together. It was honestly just papers that was in a pile that I need to put away. And I just got sidetracked. So it's just basically, that's the happy horizontal. This is basically just a block with a band. Again, happy horizontal. This was honestly, I believe that was the same piece of paper. Yes, this floral and this wood grain, that was the A and the B side. Cut it in half, had a piece of scrap. You can see that scrap landed there and there and there. Yes, just broke it up. And then there was some fabric washi laying around from my Kit Crunch kit. So I just put that there, put it on some white cardstock. Now if I flip this over, you can see that was a piece of paper I don't care for, but the back is white, so I can definitely use that as a background piece. And then of course, I think I showed this. I think I might have showed this in my paper flip through. I'm not sure. And again, there was some stragglers. And I, again, used a piece of Cartabella paper that I didn't care for, but the part of it was this ledger, and so I use that as my background. So nothing is completely adhered. See, I have some piece of, you know, the corners are not adhered, because when you go to do a layout with these base pages, you just never know what you're going to do. So have yourself some flexibility. Now, I do want to answer a question. Someone had sent me a question, or it might have been on Deborah's Facebook group, I'm not sure, and someone had said that how do you just can't wrap your brain how to do this. And the thing is that it's okay at this point if you can't wrap your brain around using a base page, because some people still can't wrap their brain around making a kit without photos in hand. And so don't worry, we have all been in those stages. In the beginning, when I first started doing watching 2Ps back in the day, and people were making kits and they didn't have any photos in hand, I'm like, how do you do that? I mean, there's just no way, because we're taught, a lot of us were taught in the beginning when you started to do a layout, photos in hand, you went to get the papers, then you went to get your alphas, then you went to get your embellishments, then your finishing touches, yada, yada, yada. And so then it's just a change in that process. That's all it simply is. And then along with that change is that you're also increasing how many layouts you can do, because you're decreasing some of the decision-making process. I hope that makes sense. So don't worry if you can't wrap your brain around doing a base page and you don't even know what you're going to scrap and when you're going to use it. It's okay. We've all been there, because back in when I started first making kits, I just thought, well, I'll never be able to make a kit without photos in hand, because that's how I always started. And then I kept seeing people after people, and garden girl after garden girl, and everybody kept showing these kits, and you were simply just sitting down and playing with that one kit. I was so attracted to that. So I had to change my thinking. It was something it's something that you grow into, is my long answer to that question. You just grow into it. Whatever that change is, whether it's base pages or making a kit or printing photos ahead or planning a whole album or some other things I have coming up, hint, hint, it is all a mindset. It's a thought process, and it changes the longer you scrap. So don't worry about it. You will eventually grow into it. And here's the kicker. If you don't, that's fine too. Some people will not enjoy this process, so don't do it. Some people don't enjoy making a kit without photos in mind. Don't do it. So it's a little bit, you have to take this hobby with a grain of salt. You have to just grab and keep a hold of those elements that make you excited. Forget the rest. And for everybody, that's different. So I hope that explains that a little bit, because I was in that same mindset at one time. I could not wrap my brain that how can I even make a kit? That's where I started, was kits. How does someone make a kit? Well, why would you put all these combinations together? Why would you put all these embellishments together? And you have no idea. And here's what I've learned over the years is that we scrap a variety of topics, we scrap a variety of people, we scrap a variety of events. So if you have a variety in your space and in your kits and in your base pages and what you purchase, everything always marries together very well. So variety is the spice of life. And so that's what you're going to see in your scrapbooking. If you do a variety of base pages, it's going to work. If you do a variety of kits, it's going to work. Now, if you're someone that only does event scrapbooking, and you only do camping, and you only do outdoors, and you only do Christmas, then you can make base pages following what you basically do, okay? So if you're someone that, let's see, if your children are in a lot of school events, like musicals and things like that, then stick around those type of papers that will give you that mood and feel of those musicals and those plays and those band concerts, things like that, okay? So if you're someone that likes darker vintage papers, then your base pages should be darker vintage papers. That was something I had to learn in the beginning. I used papers I didn't like, what I didn't like my base page. And then also too, I'm a light and airy type of person. That's my personality. So I like light and airy type of papers. So that was long-winded, but yes, it's just a mindset. It's just a change in your process. It's no different than, think about that first product you ever bought in scrapbooking. Chances are you probably don't still buy it now. So it's just a change in the process. And then also too, I find that these things that we do along the way, making base pages, doing a variety of page kits, approaching how to do an entire scrapbook kit, doing it different, I think that just adds variety, and then I think things don't become stagnant. I hope that makes sense. So yes, that was long-winded. Probably took up half the 15 minutes for that. But I did want to say that because it is something that gradually happens. And along with that, if it never happens, don't worry about it. Who says you have to make base pages? Who says you have to put paper page kits together? Who says you have to make kits ahead of time? Nobody. You do it the way you like to do it. But I find for me, I have the attention span of a gnat. I'm someone that I like variety. And I thought the older I got that I would not like change. But I'm embracing change, because if you don't embrace change, that change will change you. Yes, that's a little bit of flossy there from Janet. Yes, you got to embrace the change. I think you evolve as a person. And I listened to a sermon one time, and they said that if you look back a year from now and you didn't grow in some form of fashion, whatever, if you didn't grow financially, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, then you didn't grow. So you have to grow. Keep on growing, keep on growing, keep on changing, keep on trying. Yes. So this is what happened. I was doing that Summer Space Shape-Up video, and I want to say, I thought I had gotten rid of all of these, but I think I was just trying to hang on to these Making Memories paints. They are officially dried. There's no... Beautiful. And I love the names of them. Blue raspberry, mango. What's this? Honeydew. Yeah, asphalt. I love that for black. And then also too, strawberries and cream. See what I'm saying? Just one of shopping bag. They had wonderful names. Yeah, packaging. And companies know this about women. Packaging gets us every time, does it not? Okay, so this is the whole purpose of this video. Was just to get together, answer a couple questions, and to see what are you doing. This is the main question for today's mixer. When you set forth a goal in your scrappy life, how is that coming? Did you forget about it? Are you working on it? Because I am just officially starting my layout project. And so I just got so many things going on. I think I need an assistant. Yeah, but it keeps me busy, so that I am thankful for. I love to keep my mind busy. So all of these will be disposed of properly. So I have to get rid of that. So how many was that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That was the last 12. I love those. And you know, a lot of people use those for decoration, so I guess they served a purpose. For me, I did use some. But I will tell you, these Making Memories paints, along with the Making Memory foam stamps, remember that was the craze. That's when I realized I did not like getting messy. So I guess they served its purpose. So I'm just going to put them in my trash can here for a minute, just so I can get them off my desk. So then what I'm going to do is move some things around, because this paint opened up some space. So I can move some other paint, you know, just moving a couple photo boxes around. That's all I'm going to do, okay? And so then I also, too, want to check in to give you a little bit of reminder. It's now August, like anybody needed that reminder. Nobody needs that reminder. So it's time to really consider, how far did you get with your goal? Maybe you need to revisit your goal. Maybe you need to change your goal, or you just need to get started on your goal. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just now getting started. I tinkered around a little bit, but I am seriously getting with this layout project. And I'll talk more about that in some layout lunch dates, because, oh man, yeah, you talk about I talk with myself. I did that when I was going through my layouts. Okay, so I am definitely not purging those chalks, not at all. I think this lid's got a crack in it. And so then I'm going to, this is the photo box I have labeled paints, paint and chalk. And that's exactly what's going to go back in this. So this is the other photo box. I showed this in the Summer Space Shape Up week. Now I don't have it listed below. I'm going to move these paints from that. But at the same time, I'm going to look and see, can I purge anything? And I will tell you something I noticed on YouTube is that a lot of people are doing destashes again. So I think what happens is when it comes around that school year, it seems like the first of the year and then the first of the school year, people get that itch. And I think it's because you're going through things. Excuse me. I have to get a drink. Excuse me. I think because you're going through things, you know, the kiddos needs things. You got to get rid of the old, get in the new, because the kids grew over the summer. You got to get school supplies. So I think that just happens. And so I see a lot of destashes because I think that's what people are in the mood for. They are cleaning and organizing. So, of course, now I do have a lot of these cream and ivory and white paints, because when I do some home decor, sometimes I'll buy home decor not in the color that I need, and so then I paint them myself. Yeah, especially at Hobby Lobby. They have a lot of home decor items, but not in the color of my white or ivory. So, yes, I have a purpose for all of those. So I just keep all of my paint, craft paint. I even keep it in my scrap room, even though I may not use it here in my scrap room. It might be for my home decor. I still keep that. Okay. So, yes, and over the summer, my little one and I, we redid some furniture. We were dabbling into refinishing some furniture, and I will tell you the project turned out really nice. Yeah, that was fun to try something different. There are some metallics. So you see, I'm going to have more room for my paints. So I'm just, I'm going to have to, because I did get a few more paints because of my home issue there. So there's my Mod Podge. I wonder if that'll fit in there. I gotta find room for that. I'd like to keep that in the same container. We'll see. I don't know. I still got some more paint. So if you would like to list below, now these are all my Ranger paint daubers. There's no sense purging them because they're not that old of a product. Well, I don't know. You lose track of time. But it would be nice if those could fit. Oh, maybe I got to rethink this. Hang on. You know what I'm going through. You got to reconfigure things. But I will not get rid of my chalks. Because, like I said, they don't take up much space. And I want to play with them again. I do. I want to play with them again. So maybe in the fall, I'll get them out. Yes, because as I was looking through layouts, I saw some techniques I had done with my chalks, and I really enjoyed that process. Okay, so now let's see. Oh, yes, there we go. Work smarter, not harder. Yes, absolutely. That was a work smarter, not harder. Okay, so I'm just getting all my paints in there. So please list below, what was your one project, your one goal in your scrappy life? What is it? How is that going? And if you want to show some pictures on Deborah's Facebook group, that would be awesome too. So I guess well, there's my 15-minute mixer. It don't matter, because I'm going to just keep on playing here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find a different place for my Mod Podge, because I do not want to lay these paints on the side. So, little friend, you're coming out. Okay, so I will find another home for that. I'll probably just put it in with some adhesives or something like that, because I still have all these chalk things. I could take those out of the packaging, and I may do that when I turn off the camera here, because I could take all of this out of packaging. And then something I do is when I'm redoing something like this, you saw that I clean the inside of the box. It's just something I do, something my mom taught me. You might as well just clean as you go. And then I'm going to get out new bags, because that's something else. When bags start to look raggedy, to me, I think it makes the product look raggedy. So I will be putting these items in bags, putting these brushes. And if I would have thought ahead of time, I could have got some bags out. But I will be putting, excuse me, I will be putting these brushes in bags, because I don't want to have to leaf through this little stuff. And then these cosmetic wedges as well. I will just be reorganizing this little photo box. So then, let me move this to the side. Let me get the rest of my paint in here. So I have a little bit of room to grow for paint. And I don't foresee me buying paint. And if I did, it would be for some home decor projects. But I don't do a lot of that. But my paint is here. That one's almost empty. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? I have a little bit of room to grow for paint, but I don't foresee that. I still could probably get that in there. You think? Well, that would be a waste of space. But maybe. I kind of like things all together. So I may rework that. I may be able to get that in there. We'll see. Okay. I'm just thinking out loud. Sorry about that. So then, of course, I have all these other things I want to put back in there. So I'm hoping I can get that all in there, and I will make everything as concise as I can. That was my point. So let me move this for a minute. So then I will now have this room. Oh, there's another one. Okay. I will now have more room for these Prima chalk inks. And like I said, there is really no great way to organize these little, not in a photo box anyways. And so I like photo boxes. They fit on my bookcases, which my bookcases may be changing here. Oh, that's another topic for another day. So in this mixer, I just wanted to pop in and say, how's your goal for 2019? How is that going? Because that's where I'm at right now in my process, is that I'm focused on that, and I'm going to get it done. Okay, and I'm already thinking about what my goal is going to be for 2020. Yes, I'll talk about that coming up. So I'm already thinking about that. And so then, of course, I had these inks. I think I had them in here. So I'm just going to keep them in here, because then that's how this box is labeled, is inkers and things like that. And so then I do have some room for some other items. I guess I could put this Mod Podge in there if I wanted to. I could do that. It looks like I have plenty of room. But there isn't much room. How do I want to say that? This is hard to organize because of the shape, and they topple over. So I may just line the bottom like that of these Prima inks and call it good. That's all you basically can do. And so then if I find anything else that would be in this category of inkers and a little bit of overflow, then I would just put it in here. Again, overflow. I would just put them in here. And I did find something else. What was it? Oh, yes, I had this. When I was doing that summer space shape up, I found these. And so I will just stick those in there as well. A little bit of overflow. So I will do that. Okay, so that is what I wanted to get together, talk about a little bit about those base pages. If you can't think about how to use them, don't worry about it. No one says you have to. It's just something that's a little fun, a little different, keeps things from being boring. And then you also get to be playing with that paper quicker, rather than having it in a collection or a manufacturer's group and then you never get to it. You know, and I did say in the video that your hoard becomes bored. I truly believe that, because that's what I found in my process. At one time, I did a purge. And I was trying to think the other day, when was that? It was several years ago. And I had purged so much that I was literally taking items out of my space in trash bags. No joke. Because my husband at the time said, he said, Janet, what are you doing? He said, you know, he sees me go through so much in my scrapbooking. God love him. And he has supported me all these years. That's just been wonderful. But he said to me, he says, are you giving up scrapbooking? I said, no, it's just that some of these items are no longer of interest to me. And so when I was taking items out and I was donating them by the trash bags, that was a game changer for me, because then I realized I was waiting for that perfect photo. I was waiting for that perfect moment. I was waiting for that perfect story, and perfect does not happen. It just does not happen. And so when I think I purged at that time, if I remember, things get a little fuzzy. I think I purged over 1/3 of my entire space at that time. And so then I was left with 2/3, and it made me change the way I shop. It made me change the way I think of things. And then from that day forward, I no longer kept my product. This is old, this is new. This is an old photo, so I'm using old product. This is a new photo from today. I'm going to use something new that I bought today. I stopped that. I only kept what I loved, and that really helped my overall process. Because now in my space and in my mind, nothing is old, nothing is new. I now have everything I love. I hope that makes sense, because we get into that mindset. Well, this is from 2006 basic gray, so I'm going to need a photo from 2006 or 2007 or something older, because that product's older. Why am I putting them in there? And that's not true. No, just get away from the old versus the new. Just keep what you love. It's a game changer. It really is. And then when you do a big purge, it really makes you think. It's no different than if you spring clean your home and you're taking a lot of things to Goodwill. Then you really think twice about when you're bringing something new in. It's just a thought process. So that is probably where I'll stop that mixer for today. I also did want to say something about YouTube. They are, as far as the channel itself, as far as the studio part of it, that YouTube is making us change over to a different studio software type of thing. So they are making comments even harder to read and to find and to reply to. Makes no sense to me. However, YouTube is free. Beggars can't be choosers. So if you see some comments flipping through and that I didn't get to, I probably didn't even see them. I don't know why YouTube is doing that. But again, I have been holding off of making this change to the Creator Studio part, but now it's a must. They're making everyone do it. And so, yeah, it's getting hard to do the comments, which I don't understand. But anyways, that's another topic for another day. And we'll be having a lot of discussion. Because someone had asked me if I could do a video on about doing a YouTube channel and what was the process and the things I use. So I did put that on the list, so maybe I'll talk about that. There are some things to consider when you're doing a YouTube channel, and then can you make money at it? Is it worth making money at? Monetizing, things like that. So, you know, I've done the research on all that, so I definitely can talk about that. So that will be coming up in the future when my layout project is done. So that's all I have for today for this 15-minute mixer. What I want to say is go back in your January planner. What was your goals for your scrappy life? And then list below, and let's hold each other accountable to get that done. Yes, so that's all I have for this 15-minute mixer. Please come back. There are some start to finish videos coming up. We're still playing with Kit Crunch and lots of layout lunch date. Absolutely. So that's all I have for today. Come back, because you never know what we're gonna do. Bye.